When I think of The Good Braider by Terry Farish, I think of freedom. But not just freedom alone, but a freedom of life, to be secure, safe, and nourished. The freedom to be and be left to oneself, to dream of opportunity. In the novel of poems, Farish depicts the life of a Sudanese teenager and her family, who live their lives under the oppression of a Sudanese government which mocks and abuses them for not being Muslim. Viola, a 17-year-old Sudanese girl, loses her identity because of a brutal act of war, and as a result loses herself and the respect of her culture. She ends up journeying with her mother, escaping the domineering government, but loses her little brother Francis to sickness. They stop at Cairo, where she is faced with dealing with the events of her life. She lacks any sense of freedom from her circumstances and continues to dream about America, where her uncle Marco lives. Her and her mother finally reach America, and Viola begins her healing process. She experiences the awkwardness of American culture through freedom, opportunity, and social expectations, but she also struggles to find a new identity while clinging to the identity of her Sudanese culture. Part of this struggle exists in her mother, who scorns her for losing herself in the soldier's act of violence and continues to scorn her for showing an interest in a young American boy. She begins to become part of Kennedy Park in Portland, Maine, and through this she discovers her intelligence and her ability to persevere and grow. Throughout the novel, Farish uses braiding hair as a way to separate the identity of a Sudanese girl from the identity of those around them, or Americans. Viola's ability to braid hair becomes a comfort for her future, but also a terrible reminder of her past. This theme is intertwined with her own growth as a character, as well as the strength and symbolism of the elephant, another concept of culture, freedom, and perseverance, as well as strength. Because the book speaks so much about freedom, it made me think about the way freedom is taken for granted in America. We live our lives without realizing the true pain of people like Viola, who, although she is fictional, represents a real culture of people whom live under the impression of hate, poverty, government oppression, and sickness. They desire America. It's a dream. They hear about their rules of safety, their concepts of liberty, their doors of opportunity, and their forgiveness and acceptance. And although these sayings don't represent our entire culture, they know that they can find these things if they look for them. I wrote a poem that reflects my experience with my journey from Sudan to America. It's titled She Sleeps and Dreams. She sleeps and dreams, awakes and hopes for freedom. The freedom to save herself for love, that when a darkened figure comes she may say no and watch it run. The freedom to feel safe with friends and family when she's at home, that forceful dangers break no doors, nor tread with boots upon clean floors. The freedom to hold and love a child and feel its skin against her face, to know that she won't leave this place. The freedom to walk down every street, to travel, laugh, and have no fear of guns or knives that say, stay clear. The freedom to sing so loudly that no one would swear or frown or stare, that smiles return with a peaceful care. The freedom to speak her feelings out, the ones that must be spoken now, those heavy thoughts that make her bow. The freedom of a new sweet land, a place where food and water flow, to fill her up and help her grow. The freedom to possess a choice, to go to school and learn and become more than a name of anyone. The freedom for a calming sleep, a sleep without a single thought, one without fear's dreadful rot. The freedom to be loved by those around, to know for sure that people care through all the wealth they have to share. The freedom to have hopes and dreams without fierce doubt to drown them out, a vision that is worth a shout. The freedom to serve her only God, that no one would threaten to take away her faith, that she could live and pray. The freedom to survive, a freedom for a life. She sleeps and dreams, she wakes and hopes for freedom.